By the end of this video, you are finally going to understand why you're feeling stuck, even though you are smart, capable, and usually very motivated. Let me paint you a picture. It's like feeling that you have so much to do, but you still kind of feel paralyzed, or feeling so mentally activated, but at the same time, you feel frozen. Have you ever felt like that? So usually people who experience this type of functional freeze give themselves a title of lazy. And when you're stuck in functional freeze for that long, you start believing that you're inherently lazy or there's actually something wrong with you. So today, I really want to talk about 3 things. Number 1, what the heck is functional freeze? Number 2, why smart, intelligent, very capable, responsible women end up feeling functionally frozen. And number 3, how to unstuck yourself without bullying yourself, because on my page, we do not bully ourselves. So I just want to go over some of the phrases I've heard my clients say, or things I've even said to myself as someone who's been in functional freeze. Number 1, I'm just being very lazy. Number 2, I'm just feeling kind of unmotivated. Number 3, you know what? I'm just a really big procrastinator. And though these things are true and can be true, when we are talking about functional freeze, your body essentially goes into 2 different sides of the spectrum at the same time. And before I dive into that, I want to talk about the fact that there are 4 main responses that your body uses to protect itself. So there's freeze, there's flight, and fawn. 4th one, fawn. And today we're focusing mainly on freeze. So your body is shutting down, but also activated at the same time. The difference between these 2 can actually send your body into this feeling of like stuckness, where you know exactly what you need to do. You know that you want to do it, but you physically cannot bring yourself to do it. And it's probably one of the most frustrating things. And that's one of the best ways for me to explain the freeze, the functional freeze response. And one of the reasons why highly intelligent, highly accomplished women fall into the space is that they get so overwhelmed and so busy and so enthralled in what they're doing that the way that their body chooses to function or respond to all of this is freeze, because their mind is active and telling them you have to do this. You have to reply to that email. You have to take the groceries. You have to take the meat out of the freezer. You have to do all these things. But then your body's like, oh my God, there's so many things. I don't know what to do. I can't. And then you freeze, and it's actually your body talking to you. And the reason I make these videos is because our body is always talking to us. It's always giving us information, but we have to learn how to decode what it's telling us so that we can tell a different story, right? So yeah, to sum that up, the more intelligent you are, the higher your expectations, the more responsibility you're putting on yourself, the more your mind is analyzing the risks and the needs of everything that needs to be done. And you're just growing this gap between what you have to do and what you have the capacity to do. And that's putting a stress on your body that it probably doesn't have the capacity for. So it might switch into functional freeze. I want to share a personal example of this. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who can actually identify with this. But for me, one of the things is when I get home after a really busy day and I drive into the parking lot, before I go inside, and I might have groceries with me, I might have things I have to do inside when I get in, before I actually get out of my car and go home, I often have this moment where I have to like stop, pause, and sit in the car. And I just feel like my mind's telling me like, okay, get up, you need to do this, you need to email this person, you need to do that, you need to do that, you need to do that. And then my body's like, oh, nope, you're going to stay here. And I'm like, ah! But it's that moment of being pulled in 2 directions and not being able to move. So I just have learned to soften into that. And that's what I really want to talk about next. How do we move from that state? All right. So let's talk about the goods, the practical stuff, right? We can theorize everything because that's probably what you're good at, but let's talk about getting in our bodies and figuring out how to get out of that stuck zone. So I typically start by naming it. As soon as I'm in that state, let's just start with me being in the car. And I'm feeling that like, oh, shoot, I have so much to do. I feel like I can't move right now. I just feel that my body isn't wanting me to move. I notice it. And I'm like, okay, this is information. I know I've had a busy day. Maybe my body's just reminding me I need a moment. So I acknowledge it. I name it out loud, and I don't shame myself and be like, come on, let's go. But I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm going to give myself a minute. Just going to take my time. And then I move to number 2. I was about to say it. I'm going to move to number 2, which is do something to regulate yourself. So I typically would then take like a big deep breath and breathe out, or do some type of like slow box breathing to like bring my body back down and let me know I'm safe, or some type of like somatic exercise where I'm like, okay, I'm safe. You're okay. Like I'm hearing you that you need to slow down, and I'm going to do that for a few minutes just so you know that you're safe. Okay. I had one client that this didn't work for. It was still a little too much. So for her, the first things she would do would just like move her fingers or like grab a drink of water, whatever she could physically do in that moment, she would do to kind of bring her out of this like this state that was the 2 opposite poles. She would just do something physical, because in that moment, you're likely so in your mind that your body's like, no. So we'll take a step back. We'll do something physical, ideally something somatic, something that brings you back into your body, and then we keep it moving. Number 3 would be to lower the psychological load. So instead of me sitting in my car and being like, oh my God, I have 60 things to do, I'm just like, all right, I feel like I'm just going to grab my bags from the car. I'm going to go upstairs, and then I'm going to plug my phone into the charger. I'll literally give myself one task to do. And then once I'm on the go, everything kind of just folds naturally. But in that moment is not the time to be like, I'm gonna do this. No, you're going to slow down and just be like, okay, cool. I know I have my bags in the back. Let me just grab my stuff, pop upstairs, plug in my phone, give myself one task. The last one to add to that, number 4, is that I would typically then just give myself a timer. Like say I had to clean the house and there was so much I felt like I had to clean, and I'm like, oh my God, it's just going to take me so long. I'm like, take a chill pill, Sarah. It's all good. It's all good. I'll just say, I'm going to give myself 10 minutes. I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes and I'm going to clean what I can in 10 minutes. And I typically go longer than the 10 minutes, but it's all about letting myself know that like, okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just need to start. We just need to like do what we can and go from there. I've really honed in on not shaming myself. And that's what I work with people on. It's like, you get into these states where you're so used to doing things and doing them right and doing them well. And, we have to learn to be kind to ourselves. If I wouldn't speak to a child like that, I'm not going to talk to myself like that, right? So these are the practical tools that I've been using to help me get out of like a functional free state when I notice it, is actually just be present, do something somatic or physical to get me in my body, take the next action, and then put a really reasonable task in front of myself to do that will get the ball rolling. So just to sum things up, if you are feeling lazy, but your mind is going like, oh my God, I'm inviting you just to hold space for that, to witness it, hear it, not judge yourself, but start listening to what your body might be trying to tell you. Oftentimes, our body will be the first thing to talk to us, and maybe it's asking for rest. Maybe it's asking for fewer tasks at one time. Maybe it's asking you just to take some time to actually just listen. So I would implore you to just get curious about your body. And this is what I actually really love about working with clients. It's not that I'm telling them like, you can do this and achieve this. It's getting people to be curious about how they work, how they function, and getting to try different modalities and things to see how they can adapt it to themselves and learn how to work and live in their body in alignment. Because at the end of the day, if you are going to be in this body suit, you might as well take full advantage and understand yourself so deeply that as you experience things in your life, you can hold space for it, you can embody it, and you can take it from a place of love and growth and understanding. So if any of this was helpful to you, I'm super happy and I'm grateful. And if you want to check out any of my other platforms, I'm on Instagram as Sarah Sparks Balance. I'm on LinkedIn as Sarah Gariba. And I've just started a Substack. I know. But I will have more information on that soon. All right. Talk to you later.